After the most magical week spent indulging in the lavish landscapes of Prince Edward Island, it was time for us to move on to the next place on our list. One thing we have realized about these parts of Canada is that summer comes much later than it does in the States. And while the majority of our clothing are for the warmer seasons, I am glad we were smart enough to bring all-season garments. But of course, colder weather clothing is a bit bulkier, so before heading out, we made sure to tackle quite a bit of laundry for a fresh start. You like it? We reserved a ferry ride early in the morning, which would be the first time we have ever been on a ferry with the van. It is very common to take ferries more often in these parts of Canada, since a couple of the provinces are islands, and it is more affordable than filling up on gasoline. And soon enough, we arrived in beautiful Nova Scotia, making our way down to Halifax first to get some much-needed maintenance done on the van so that we could continue our journey.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything. by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon.
While visiting Nova Scotia, some lovely subscribers of ours reached out to us and let us know that they are from the province. We took the opportunity to meet them, and they were kind enough to open up their home, show us their awesome converted camper bus, and gave us some travel advice for the province as well.
This would be the number 7 of Marine Drive, and see how it goes all the little islands. It goes all the way down through here, and then you would go all the way through here, and then back through here, and then that's the Cancel Causeway. Okay. And then when you get to Cape Breton Island,
and there's no toll on the causeway.
There's no tolls, no. And you get to Cape Breton Island, you would go this way, and you would go all the way up through here to Sydney. And then when you get to Sydney, Lewisburg is out here. And then you go back all the way up. This is called the Cabot Trail. The elevation is really high. And then you would come back down the Cabot Trail, all the way back down here, all along here, back to the causeway again. Where you went down this way, then you would come back the Trans-Canada or the main highway. And you go back through the Glasgow. And then that's where you go. Amherst to the border.
We decided to hit the southern parts of Nova Scotia first, since it would be warmer, taking us around the coastal attractions and ending up in our first national park here. So we did a tiny bit more laundry, got our van's maintenance done, said our goodbyes for now, and set off on our course, stopping in Duncans Cove first. Our next stop was Peggy's Cove, named Mi'kma'ki by the Mi'kmaq people who have lived on the land long before it was colonized. It was named Peggy's Cove, shortened from the name St. Margaret's Bay, but also after a book made by a local artist named William DeGarth. It became an active fishing village and home to Peggy's Point Lighthouse. DeGarth's tale cites that a man named Schooner was shipwrecked on Halibut Rock. The ship lost everything, except a young woman named Margaret, who survived and resided in the area. Margaret, being shortened for Peggy, is how the name came to be, and I must say I much prefer this version of the background story. We have been really immersing ourselves in as many cute small towns that Nova Scotia has to offer. This is super helpful with our research on seeing if this is a place we want to lay down roots in the future. And of course, one of the small towns named Mahone Bay saw the little fairy glimmer in us because they have not one, but 2 fairy gardens spread throughout the town. Paying homage to Scotland's rich folklore tales of fairies and their complex and mischievous ways, they are known to be tricksters and are deeply rooted in Celtic, Slavic, and Germanic traditions. Known as guardians of the wild with unpredictable motives, I highly recommend reading Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies if you want to indulge yourself in more of the folklore. Lunenburg would be our next stop, home to the Blue Nose ships 1 and 2 and some of the most picturesque seaside landscapes. The Blue Nose was a famous Canadian fishing and racing ship built in 1921 and designed by William J. Rowe. The Blue Nose participated in World War II and was sold to the West Indian Trading Company. In 1946, it hit a coral reef and sank to the bottom of the Caribbean Sea. To honor the original ship, the Blue Nose 2 replica was built in 1963 and is currently docked in Lunenburg. Kejimkujik National Park, covered with tall, lush white pines and hemlock trees, and closely connected to the Mi'kmaq culture. It was an absolute privilege to walk through the dense forest, where I could picture birch bark canoes slowly drifting through the glimmering river that passes through its trees. And now we are headed northbound towards one of the most scenic areas of Nova Scotia, with more sights to see and plans to come. We are so excited to share these bits with you coming very soon. But until then, thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.
Nnyji found a new husband.
One back up.
Trespasser. She's a trespasser, trespasser. Will she try it again?
Pickles.